Hello, everyone. Okay, last week we talked about some pressure groups that we learned that pressure groups, group of workers, we call them pressure groups or labor groups or labor unions. So they are a group of workers that form organizations according to their profession in order to influence government policies. But today we'll look at voluntary organizations. That's the topic for today, voluntary organizations. As we enter into the class, let's find out what voluntary organizations are, what they do, their objectives, and so on and so forth. So I welcome you to today's class, and I hope you are still staying safe and that you are well. Welcome to today's class. Thank you. All right, as usual, we have our lesson objectives. At the end of the class, each of you will be able to define voluntary organizations. You'll be able to outline the advantages of voluntary organizations. And we are not in the physical classroom, but you will be able to form voluntary organizations and write objectives. Of course, every voluntary organization have objectives. So that's what we'll be achieving at the end of this class. And I hope you stay attentive. All right, here are the key words for the class. We have voluntary. Voluntary simply means something that is coming out of one's will or from one's own consent. The next one is non-governmental. That is something that is not relating to government. It's not from the government, non-governmental. Discipline, a pattern of behavior, a prescribed way of behaving. Discipline. All right, so you find out the meaning of these words and use them in sentence examples so that you master them. Okay, so in the next video, I want you to dance to the video and enjoy yourself, and I'll see you on the other side of the PowerPoint. Okay, enjoy yourself.
Of the
right, what is a voluntary organization? What is a voluntary organization? So here we have the definition of voluntary organization. So here we have that a voluntary organization is a group of individuals who enter into agreements using usually as volunteers to form a body or an organization to accomplish a purpose. All right, so voluntary organizations are made up of individual volunteers. It's called voluntary because it comes from their will, their consent. Nobody is forcing them. They want to volunteer to help, to improve the cause of humanity. So it's a group of individuals, mostly volunteers, who come and have agreements and form a body or organization to accomplish the purpose they have in mind. Okay, they are sometimes called non-governmental organizations. All right, on this slide, we'll talk about objectives of voluntary organizations. Before individuals come together to form a voluntary organization, they have something in mind. They will have a purpose or objective they intend to accomplish in the society. So let's see what we have on the slide. Each voluntary organization begins with objectives in mind, and this informs what they do. Yes. For example, the Red Cross. The Red Cross deals with health issues. These are health professionals that want to improve on the health issue of individual person in the world, and they come together to form the a voluntary organization, Red Cross. Now, there's this voluntary organization as well. You might have heard about them. Doctors Without Borders is also a voluntary organization that have health objectives. For example, when there was the outbreak of Ebola, they all flew from all over the world into all those areas that have that epidemic at that time to help in, treating and taking care of people. Yeah. And then now as well, when we have this pandemic, most of them are all over the world, are far away from their individual countries to help in fighting the pandemic. So Doctors Without Borders is an example of a voluntary organization that has health objectives. Now, there's another one that is called Amnesty International. You must have heard about them too. Okay, this organization also have objectives, and their own objective is to bring justice and equity to downtrodden, to people who do not have money to hire lawyers or are being they are being intimidated. So Amnesty International cares about justice and equity for all. So it's a voluntary organization, but with a different objectives to health objectives. So you see, they have every voluntary organization have a purpose, have objectives for which it is formed. All right. So let's see what we have on the other slide. Okay, here we have more examples of voluntary organizations. These are in Nigeria. There are other voluntary organizations or non-governmental organizations all over Nigeria, like even orphanages, charitable or charity organizations. They are all non-governmental agencies or voluntary organizations. Here in Nigeria, we have the Boy Scouts, we have Nigerian Girls Guilds Association, and we have the Rotary Club. All these are uh, voluntary organizations that see to the welfare of the masses. All right, so let's look at the advantages of voluntary organizations. One, they encourage effective citizenship. Yeah. Two, they bring about peaceful coexistence in the society. Three, they improve the development and the progress of the society. And lastly, they strengthen bonds between family and community. So these are some of the advantages of voluntary organization. All right, we have come to the end of the class. So I want to put you through on how to assess your classwork on your project. All right, the first one is that you click on your um, the left hand side of your screen. You click on LMS. Then you select assessment. From the drop down, click on category and select classwork. Then click on attempt questions to answer your class task questions. All right, I hope that is understood. The first one is to click on the LMS by your left hand side and then select assessment from the drop down options. Then when you click on classwork, it will bring out another drop down, and there is something that you click on category and then choose classwork. When you open the classwork, you click on attempt questions so that you can be able to answer your class task. Thank you. I'll see you next time on the next class. I hope you stay safe and stay blessed. Bye.